Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and I have a couple interesting stories for you in this latest Moon Lambo hot jam. Starting with this one from crypto media outlet You Today. New Mastercard offers free XRP, and wait till you see who is behind this. You will find it fascinating. And also, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse is showing support for Coinbase. And today is big news. Coinbase files to go, technically yesterday, it's actually after midnight now when I'm recording this, but anyway, Coinbase files to go public in a key listing for the cryptocurrency category. This is indeed a big deal, whatever you think of Coinbase. And look, in mind, I actually like Coinbase. I like the platform itself. It's very user-friendly, especially for people that are getting into crypto, new for the first time. It's the first exchange I ever used when I joined the world of crypto in November 2017. I do have my gripes, just like many of you do, no doubt. For me, it's that they're a little bit crashy. It's like that's why it earned the reputation of being a leading indicator of whether or not we're in a bull market. If we're in a bull market and there's tremendous volume, you can tell without looking at anything else because Coinbase will be down. That is the joke. They have earned that, unfortunately. So I hope they can, from a technical perspective, get over that because I actually do like Coinbase. Other than that. But lots of interesting stuff to cover. I do want to be clear that I don't have a financial background of any kind. I'm not offering financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm nothing more than an enthusiast in the space who enjoys making YouTube videos on crypto-related topics as a hobby. That is all that it is. And I very much appreciate all of the support. So who is at the core of this new Mastercard, which I'll get into the details in just a moment, this new Mastercard that offers free XRP? Well, it comes from Global ID, which is a company that Greg Kidd has co-founded. And if many of you will be familiar with Greg Kidd, if you're in the XRP community, if not, I'll get you caught up to speed here. Greg Kidd was Chiefles. Let me try. That's not our Chiefles. What the hell is this? I swear I'm not drinking. He was Ripple's chief risk officer starting in, I think it was 2013, and he had that role for more or less 2 years. So I want to say 2013 to like 2015. He was the chief risk officer, very early days. And he had already been, he was at a point where in his career, like he didn't have to work. He was just so enamored by what Ripple was doing that he, in his own words, he like begged them for a job. He just wanted to be a part of what Ripple was doing back in the very early days. And he also went on to do some other stuff. I mean, he had invested in some major companies. What were they? I can't know if I can recall them off the top of my head. One of them, I could be misspeaking. I want to say, was it Twitter? There's some like a couple of really big ones. Maybe it wasn't Twitter. I'd have to go back and look. I don't want to say something that's not true, but there were some, like in the early 2000s, really big companies. It was like a swing for the fences type of thing because it just seemed outlandish at the time, but it came to pass. And so he also ended up starting an investment firm, and I think he started this one in 2010, called Hard Yaka, if I'm saying that correctly. And this firm that he started invests in a number of companies, and if you're in the world of crypto, you're going to know a number of these names. In fact, one of the companies that his firm is invested in is Ripple. How about that? Former chief risk officer goes on, well, actually, he had started this fund before he even started working at Ripple, but ended up investing in Ripple. By the way, he's very pro XRP. He owns, by his own admission, a ton of XRP. I don't know what the quantity is, but it's just a ton of XRP. He's very long XRP. He thinks that it has an opportunity. It's just another one of those things, because he always goes for things in his own words that are like a swing for the fences type of projects. And he thinks that what Ripple's doing with XRP is that type of project and has a shot at changing the way that money moves around the planet. His firm also invested in 2 of the 3 cryptocurrency exchanges that happen to still offer XRP in the United States. While most cryptocurrency exchanges in the United States have removed trading of XRP, at least temporarily, as a result of the charges of the SEC versus Ripple, GateHub and Uphold continue to offer it, along with BitTrue. Now, unless I missed it, I didn't see that his company had invested in BitTrue. I could have missed it, but I didn't see that. But his company has invested, and it was before all this went down. He did invest in GateHub and Uphold. They've also invested in Coinbase. They've invested in Robinhood. Filecoin. I'm sure many of you have heard of Filecoin. Brave, as in Brave browser. And Bitso, which is Ripple's greatest on-demand liquidity partner. That's the cryptocurrency exchange in Mexico. Major volumes been flowing through there ever since on-demand liquidity came online. And so that's who's backing his company, Global ID. That's who has created this Mastercard, which offers free XRP. So take a look at the specifics of this. The digital identity platform Global ID has introduced a first-of-its-kind XRP debit card that will soon become available in the United States. The first 1,000 people who join the waitlist will be able to earn up to 5% back in XRP rewards on the first $10,000 spent at over 10.7 million merchants supported by Mastercard. The next batch of 2,000 signups will earn 4% cash back, while the rest will have to settle for 2%. And unfortunately, this is only available in the United States. Now, a little over half of my audience, or somewhere thereabout anyway, is in the United States. So at least half or so of you can take advantage of this if you want to. The rest of you, just take it this way. This is another way to encourage further adoption of XRP. So even if you can't have the card if you're outside the United States, this, in theory, should be good for you, right? Wouldn't you think? Then you're right here. It will be possible to convert these rewards into a slew of fiat and digital currencies via Uphold-powered Global ID wallet. So it's all kind of intertwined. Cool stuff here, right? Now, John Deaton, he's an attorney within the XRP community. I'm sure many of you are familiar with at this point. He saw this tweet from Greg Kidd, which read as follows: Thank you for all shout-outs. We are thrilled to announce this. And then that was just that was a retweet of the Global ID tweet indicating, hey, XRP Mastercard. And so John Deaton, he retweeted that and wrote, "This use case alone makes XRP a non-security. Just saying." Yeah, and so when was the last time you went to the grocery store and, bought you a bunch of bananas and a pack of bologna with your securities? Have you done that before? Have you done that before? Good times here on the Moon Lambo channel. All right, here's a tweet from Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. And he's got look at that man on the moon gif. I like that. And he wrote, "A big step for Coinbase and a giant leap for the industry. Congrats." Which is a retweet of this TechCrunch article titled "Coinbase Files to Go Public in a Key Listing for the Cryptocurrency Category." And really, every crypto media outlet under the sun covered this, including this piece from Cointelegraph, which I'm going to jump into. As Coinbase plans to pursue a direct listing on the stock market, which would see its existing shares be traded on United States stock exchanges, the exchange has submitted an S-1 report to the Securities and Exchange Commission, which details all the relevant data that would help investors conduct due diligence on the company. And just wait, by the way, you're going to find what I wrap up this video with, you're going to find very interesting, because let's just say that Coinbase is aware of the concept of Bitcoin and Ethereum being declared securities. Just wait, you'll see. The document represents the first time that Coinbase publicly revealed sensitive details like revenue and ownership structure. The filing reveals that the exchange posted a direct revenue of $1.1 billion in 2020, a significant increase from $482 million in 2019. About 96% of this revenue is derived from transaction fees charged to users, with the remainder coming from subscription services. A further $136 million revenue was generated from sales of Coinbase assets to fulfill over-the-counter transactions. The company's operating expenses are significant. In 2020, they totaled over $880 million, with the majority being due to research and development, sales, and general administrative expenses. However, $135 million of the total expense is labeled as transaction expenses. The prospectus explains that these consist of blockchain miner fees and transaction reversal costs, as well as staking and verification expenses. It is worth noting that the company actually lost $46 million due to operations in 2019, as its revenue of $533 million was not enough to cover its $579 million in losses. primarily due to administrative and development costs. For 2020, its net income amounted to $327 million. Well, you're not always going to have an up year, especially if you're investing a ton in growing out infrastructure, all that jazz. But Coinbase, they really should end up just making an absolute fortune for a ton of people in the coming decades. Now, for 2020, it is interesting to note that institutional trading generated most of its volume, though retail participation was stronger in the last quarter of 2020 than in previous months. And there you go. More evidence that I've been spouting off to you for months and months and months. This current bull run within the cryptocurrency space has been led by institutional purchases for the first time in the history of this asset class. It was always from retail speculators that we saw these boom and bust cycles. And so this is just, it's part of the maturation of the asset class. And to me, it's very exciting to see. Real money's coming in. They finally acknowledge this is not going away. And enough time passed. They're like, oh, that crypto thing's still here? Okay, let's look into it further. And then as they do, they're like, okay, what might we have gotten wrong? And now that requires intellectual honesty, looking inward. And enough entities have done that it caused a bull run. That's amazing to me. And it's not going to stop. Everybody else is going to have to come around. It just makes me think of, the technological adoption. Think about technology bell curve. If you don't know, I don't want to get into it in this video, but if you Google technology bell curve, it shows you visually what it looks like as new technology is introduced to the world and who adopts that technology and when. And so we're still towards the early portion of that particular bell curve. Now, I think it's just what I want to cover on that. But take a look at this. From XRP community member Arturo Portilla, who happens to be an attorney, he tweeted out the following. Check this out. The S1 form filed by Coinbase ahead of its IPO says that a potential determination that either Bitcoin or Ethereum constitutes a security or other regulated financial instrument could adversely affect the company. Oh, what? Well, what have we been saying here in the XRP community? What have I been saying here on the Moon Lambo channel? Look, what happens with the Ripple or SEC versus Ripple case? It's going to have shockwave results, resounding throughout the world, and most importantly in the United States. Throughout the world, it'll impact the entire world, but in particular in the United States, if XRP is deemed to be a security today, every other cryptocurrency on the planet is at risk, especially altcoins, because with Bitcoin, they could come after Bitcoin. There is no Satoshi Nakamoto that they can find anyway. Obviously, it's a he, she, they, whatever, whoever. I don't know if it's a group of people or what. Whoever ended up making Bitcoin, can't find that person. But that doesn't mean that the SEC couldn't make a bogus case and go after Bitcoin by claiming that miners are effectively selling securities. They could do that. I think that'd be a bogus case, but I think that they have a bogus case against Ripple right now. So who's to say that they couldn't go the extra mile of idiocy? I don't see why not. Maybe it's less likely since that asshat Jay Clayton isn't run the SEC anymore, but I'm just saying it sets dangerous precedent here. And so you can see here, he's got a couple clips from the actual piece here. Here we go. A majority of our net revenue is from transactions in Bitcoin and Ethereum. If demand for these crypto assets declines and is not replaced by new demand for crypto assets, our business operating results and financial condition could be adversely affected. So they're telling you right there, they're getting most of their money from trading of Bitcoin and Ethereum. If that goes bye-bye and it's not replaced, you have a serious problem. But if those go bye-bye, then it's over. I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm not trying to be a doomsday guy. I'm just illustrating, hopefully, verbally, how ridiculous this whole position is that we're in right now. So, and then the next piece here. Here's the other slide here. So, because they go into sites. Here we go. Cryptocurrency described in this section. Crypto economy, rather, described in this section. Our business may be adversely affected if the markets for Bitcoin and Ethereum deteriorate or if their prices decline, including as a result of the following factors. And they got some bullet points here. I'm just going to read the bottom one, that is the one I'm most interested in, which reads as follows. laws and regulations affecting the Bitcoin and Ethereum networks or access to these networks, including a determination that either Bitcoin or Ethereum constitutes a security or other regulated financial instrument under the laws of any jurisdiction. And so, look, when you're going down the route of going for your IPO, you have to bear it all. You have to be totally naked out there. And anybody that's going to potentially invest, they need to know everything. Even if it's unlikely that this would happen, it's technically a possibility. And this is Coinbase acknowledging it's a technical possibility, although very unlikely. And that's why you're still seeing people willing to invest. Likewise, with Ripple, it was very unlikely that the SEC would go after them, insisting that XRP were a security. And so Tetragon, for example, invested along with others. And then the SEC did come after them. Now Tetragon's throwing a hissy fit, lawsuit against Ripple, saying that they want their money back. And so it was unlikely, but possible. And so nobody saw that coming, and nobody would see this coming if it happened. And I don't think it will happen, but nobody does. Just like most people didn't think that the SEC was actually going to go after Ripple after the better part of a decade of no action. So just take it for what it's worth here. It's just fascinating to me, but we better get a solid conclusion with what's going on with the SEC versus Ripple, because I'm telling you, it's going to be detrimental to even the Bitcoin maxis out there who have just been gleeful about what's been happening here, because they're emotionally and ideologically driven. This will not be good for them in the space if XRP is declared a security. It's going to set a precedent. And then the question becomes, what isn't a security, and why wouldn't Ethereum then be a security? Because there's nothing legally binding about Bitcoin and Ethereum not being a security. They verbally stated it, but there's nothing legally binding. They can come in tomorrow and say that the Ethereum and Bitcoin, we believe they are securities. So there we are. Just wanted to let you know I found it interesting, but I will wrap up there. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.